This is the moment when Rex and Ahsoka try to escape Order 66. Seeing the latest episode of the Clone Wars really left all of us messed up in a sense. We have never seen a darker version of the Clone Wars than what we're about to see in the coming episodes. In fact, if we want to go further, seeing how happy Captain Rex, or should I say Commander Rex, was in that episode really brought me close to tears, knowing that in a very short amount of time his life was about to get a whole lot worse with Order 66. Compare this scene where Captain Vaughn dies in the embrace of Ahsoka. In one instance, you are sad that all of these clones died so vigorously, but in the other hand, you're at least glad that they won't survive to execute Order 66 and kill the very generals and, should I say, friends that they accompanied for so many years. What we can all agree is that the Clone Wars TV show did a fantastic job of not only bringing us closer with the clones, but actually humanizing them to a point where we feel extremely bad when one of them dies or gets injured. This is especially true for Captain Rex, I feel so, because throughout this entire show I feel like we've seen him go through tragedy after tragedy. He is constantly being broken down to his core. The Umbara arc shows him not only defending his clone brothers, but having to shoot down and gun down a Jedi. Who can forget the death of Fives? That definitely left him scarred for life, but it has a lot to do with him and the inhibitor chip that was removed beforehand before the execution of Order 66, and he went on to survive together with Ahsoka. And remember what I said, tragedy after tragedy? Well, we saw another tragedy moment relived in this season with Echo, a friend he thought he had lost forever, but finally, in a bittersweet moment, he gets him back, only to lose him to the Bad Batch, although he was proud, ultimately, that Echo not only came back, but he implemented himself as a formidable clone once again. Regarding Captain Rex and Order 66, so this is what we know so far, and this mostly comes from the Ahsoka novel. In the last episode, Captain Rex was promoted into a commander, leading the 332nd Company that would be advised by Ahsoka Tano and attack Mandalore in bases that they are collaborating with a known fugitive in Maul. During the height of the Siege of Mandalore, it will be at that time that Chancellor Palpatine will execute Order 66. This will of course undoubtedly result in the remaining clones turning against Ahsoka Tano, who is a former Jedi, and in the midst of that battle, this will allow Maul to escape Mandalore and the grasp of the Jedi, the Republic, and ultimately the Empire. What is revealed to us, however, is that Captain Rex, or Commander Rex, whichever one you prefer, even before Order 66 was executed, Rex had removed his inhibitor chip together with Wolf and Gregor. As it pertains to Rex, he together with Ahsoka Tano will escape the Empire's grasp. They will fake their deaths and, in the end, live in exile. The next few episodes should clear up definitely how Commander Rex came to evade Order 66 altogether by removing his inhibitor chip, but this doesn't stop us from imagining how this came to be. There's a lot of speculation, even years prior to these episodes, ever since we've known that Captain Rex removed his inhibitor chip. In the Rebel series, it's not really explained how they did it, but I think that this will boil down into a Fives situation. This is what I suspect will happen, and of course, I welcome a participation in the comment section. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree with me, no matter what. But ultimately, in my opinion, Captain Rex will get injured on Mandalore. That's why it will be a similar situation to another clone that we just talked about. In that injury, the medics that are present on Mandalore will detect a chip on the side of his head, something that Rex was unaware of of until now, until he got injured and this particular part was rediscovered. Now that he knows he has a chip inside, memories of Fives start flooding into the mind of Commander Rex, and this is where he definitely concludes that Fives was not a conspiracy nut, but he was actually telling the truth. Something sinister was going on, and in a statement of solidarity, Rex will remove his inhibitor chip, which I also suspect he will let Wolf and Gregor know of the same thing, and they will continue on the same path as Rex removing their chips, which is why I think when Order 66 comes around, they have already removed their chips and what they suspected came true, that the Republic was scheming something against the Jedi and that they are helpless against it. Clone will turn against Clone, and Clone will turn against their generals, which were their Jedi Masters. Are there other ways that Rex could remove his inhibitor chip? Well, of course, I think that's a distinct possibility. One of them could be the mention that Maul gives out in the trailer that something is looming. There is a disturbance in the Force coming. Maul actually is talking about Order 66 prematurely. It could be that Rex overhears this and in a way comes to conclude that the inhibitor chips play a huge part in this bad feeling that overcomes Ahsoka and Maul. However, I fear that there is not a lot of time between when Maul says that and Rex actually removing his chip, so I think it happened way earlier, and that's why in my mind it's a conclusion that Rex will get injured in the Siege of Mandalore, and this will lead to him discovering a chip on the side of his head, subsequently removing it. But as I said, guys, talk to me down below in the comments. I may be wrong about this, who knows, we will see in the coming episodes. Talk to me, tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Lastly, if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.